Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And unfortunately, 3-0 for the boys was not in the cards. They drop a sloppy one in the home opener against the Toronto Maple Leafs, losing by a score of 4-2. And before I get to the game, it sucked. The game absolutely sucked, but the home opener is a great time every single year. The organization has stepped it up quite a bit over the last, 3, 4, whatever, however many years it's been. The Fanfest outside is amazing. They have the band, the things for the kids, play a little cornhole, shoot a couple pucks, drink a couple beers. They have the red carpet, the guys coming out signing like maniacs, taking pictures. Beautiful scene on a beautiful fall afternoon in Newark, New Jersey. I had a phenomenal time at the game. Shout out to all the people that I met and I talked to, whether it was in the game or at the Fan Fest or when I was walking in the game. I met a ton of you tonight, so cheers to all of you guys. I appreciate the support. The Fan Fest was awesome. Yeah, it really was. I was on the red carpet. I have a ton of videos that are live on the channel now and a bunch that'll be coming out throughout the day. Red carpet videos, some coming out of the locker room videos, and some warm-ups, and the intro video, and the light show, and the player intros. Your boy Ace was just a filming machine. There's all types of videos coming out. Just I'm spraying them out. Check them out, please, on the channel now and coming for the rest of the day. But, yeah, the Fan Fest was awesome. The game, not so much. Devils get down 3-0 in the first period, and the encouraging thing about this game is that they did not lay down and die. I mean, last year's Devils team may have lost this game 6-0 or, 5-1 or 6-1. They went down 3-0. Bratt got that beautiful wrister, just a launcher on the power play really late in the first, cutting it to 3-1, and the Devils had life. Obviously, you don't want to go into the locker room after one down 2 goals, but considering how they were down 3-0, the 3-1 was something to get excited about. When Bratt scored that goal, you're like, okay, 2 periods left, down 2. We've seen this before. With the firepower this Devils club has, they are capable of coming back from deficits like that. It wasn't in the cards tonight. 3-1 after 1. And then Tavares gets that goal in the second to go up 4-1. And then Timo scores again late in the second, cutting it to 4-2, and that's how the game ends. Overall, really, this was just a completely sloppy game. Just slop, very sloppy in our own end. Jack had an off night. He just didn't look like himself. I'm wondering if he is still hurt or, I don't know. Off night for Jack, off night for the whole team. Obviously an off night for Markstrom, but a lot of those goals were very fluky. I just rewatched them all. We had a chance, I think, on all of them to get the puck out of our end, and guys either overcommitted or just missed. I don't know. It looked like they were asleep, and Toronto took it to us. Obviously, they got shut out the night before. They were trying their hardest to avoid going 0-2, and we just got caught flat-footed, and they took it to us, and we got spanked. We got spanked at home. Throw it out and move on to the next one, Saturday in Washington. But, yeah, I'm sure Keefe is going to preach, the sloppiness and over pursuit and just kind of, being lackadaisical on our own end. And a lot of you have PTSD, and listen, I get it. A lot of you, shout out to those of you that came to the post game live tonight, and a lot of you are on the edge of the cliff again. You're ready to jump. Oh my God, this looks like last year's team. Like, everybody relax. Yes, Buffalo is not a great team, but the New Jersey Devils that played both of those games in the Global Series was a much better team than what we saw tonight, and I believe that is much closer to the team we're going to see all season than the team we saw tonight. And I don't like making excuses, and I talked about this in the post-game live fairly extensively. I believe the stat was that Bryce Salvador rattled off in the post-game show was that teams coming back from the Global Series only have like 9 wins in 33 games or something. And so it sucks. Sort of to be expected with the long travel, I guess, the excitement of the whole event, then the long travel, and with all the days off, it's just a recipe for a letdown. And we saw it tonight. Again, I think it was 33 games after a Global Series, the team in the Global Series only won 9 of them. That is an awful record. 9-24, my God. awful record. But again, all those elements, it makes sense. And unfortunately, the Devils were victims of that tonight. Not to excuse it all on that. Again, not an excuse. The reality is the reality. Couple that with, the Leafs trying to spoil Keefe's revenge game, and they did just that. And it's unfortunate they couldn't get the win for Keefe. But sloppy game, they got to get better in their own end. They got to get, a little bit tighter and make those plays, because we could have cleared the puck, I think, on every single one of those goals. It was just like, someone missing with the stick. And the first one, Markstrom had a chance to glove it. It took a weird bounce, and it, hit the inside of his glove and popped that. It was just a mess. Complete mess of a game. I'm not looking too much into it. Obviously, if we see efforts like this, for the next couple games, then I will be concerned. But this is game 3, guys. Give me a break. We're 2-1. After the atrocious preseason that we had, granted, we only played the NHL roster, really, that one game against the Islanders on Long Island. But, after that preseason, so many people were really freaking out. I wasn't freaking out. I had a little concern because the team didn't show much to be excited about in that game. But if someone said at that point the Devils are going to be 2-1 after 3, every single person would have signed up for it. Don't even kid yourself. 2-1, sign me up all day. After 3 games, no problem. Now we look to Washington, and they got to bounce back. I'm expecting a much better performance. I'm sure Keefe is going to have some not-so-kind words for some of the boys. And it was just a stinky, lousy effort. It really was. And they happen. As a lot of you pointed out, we weren't going to go 82-0. A loss had to come. I would have loved to see the first loss come in game 10 after we were on a 9-game heater and would be 9-1. That would have been nice. But it wasn't meant to be. So now the boys are 2-1. And I have not changed my opinion on this team whatsoever as a result of tonight, and neither should you. And someone, again, in the post-game live was like, wow, Ace has to be the voice of reason. And sometimes I feel like I do. Guys, everybody, put down the sharp objects, back away from the ledge. It will be okay. I was super high on this team after Fitzy's acquisitions in the summer. I told you guys I thought we were going to be a very good team. Obviously, then, after the 2 games in Prague, everyone was, planning the parade practically and we're amazing, da-da-da. And I said, I'm not getting too high off this, but the reality is the way they looked was the most exciting thing about those 2 games for me. They looked like the page has been turned. It is the dawn of a new era, new attitude, new look, New Jersey Devils, and I'm pumped for it, and I think that's still going to be the case. This one game coming back from the Global Series is not impacting my opinion whatsoever. I still believe in this team. We are a very good team. We are a very deep team. We are a very balanced team. And we're going to be good. We're going to be good. It'll be just fine, guys. Everybody relax. I know the PTSD is creeping up on you guys from last season, and I get it. It was a painful year, and nobody takes seasons like that, harder than I do. You guys know, towards the end when we were blowing our chances at the playoffs, I was practically melting down on here every night. I take it hard too, but it's game 3. This team will be just fine. And breathe. Woosa, woosa. I'm trying to think any other random things. I saw a lot of you guys. I talked about that. Shout out to the little man with the Gaudreau jersey who came up to me. I forget your name, bud. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. But I met a nice gentleman and his son. I believe the father's name was Chris. So shout out to Chris and your son, man, with the Gaudreau jersey. I'm sorry I can't remember his name. I'm just terrible with names. Little man came up to me with his Gaudreau jersey. Cool kid. Appreciate the support, my friend. But, we got a rally towel. In the lounge, they had free beers until puck drop on opening night. That's always a nice surprise. I forgot about that. So, I didn't drink beer. I went for the Black Cherry White Claw. I was clawing it up. Oh, that's what. I talked to Dano, actually, for a very brief convo with Dano, and I was like, Dano, this kind of feels special. What do you think? And, in classic Dano fashion, he was like, whoa, let's not start planning the parade yet. He's like, but it does seem like a much better team, and, I like where it's headed. So Dano likes the team as well. But I guess it was in the mid-first period. I'm trying to think when it was. Maybe, I think sometime in the first period, a little bit after the game started. Lo and behold, I see a gentleman come into the row in front of me. And who is this gentleman? None other than NHL all-time legendary enforcer Tie Domi. Now, for the young fans and the people don't know, this guy was an absolute animal. He, I believe, has the most fighting majors in NHL history. I'm going to double check on that. I forgot to look this up before I started recording, but this guy was a short little dude, a fire hydrant, and he fought monsters. He played in the era of hockey where the enforcers were absolute murderers. The Bob Proberts and Tony Twists and Stu Grimsons, just absolute killers in that era of the NHL. Tie Domi fought all of them probably multiple times, and he rarely lost. It was crazy. He was just short, and he had a good center of gravity, and he'd pull people down and just crack them. I remember tons of great fights with the Devils and Domi over the years. And then obviously Domi hit Niedermeyer with that cheap shot elbow in the playoffs in 2001 and it almost killed him. I mean, that was crazy. But I saw Tie Domi, and as not a hockey historian, but someone who appreciates hockey history, and you guys know I love the fisticuffs. Neanderthal City, give me the fisticuffs, give me the bone-crunching hits. I had to approach Mr. Domi, and I talked to him for a little bit, and I said something about the Niedermeyer elbow. I was like, listen, man, I hated you for a long time because of the elbow. Joked about that for a second, but talked about the old game and, how the game has changed. Talked to him for a couple minutes. Really nice guy, super friendly. I don't know how many other people recognized him, probably a couple. But I had a nice chat with him, and, his son's on the Leafs, so he travels a lot. It's crazy. Tie Domi is connected to so many, Hollywood types as well. I've never quite figured it out, but if you haven't seen any of his clips, look up Tie Domi, D-O-M-I, in YouTube, and you will be treated to some absolute battles. Absolute battles this guy had in his whole career. I mean, it was just a legendary enforcer career. They never could. Those Leafs teams he was on, there was a couple of them that were pretty good with, Matt Sundin and Cujo and, Darcy Tucker and all those guys, and the Devils always just had their number. The Devils always just had their number, and it was always fun to beat them. They were always, pretty interesting series for sure when those two teams met in that, early 2000s. But let me know what you guys thought about the game tonight. But everybody calm down. It will be okay, I promise. It's Game 3. There's nothing to melt down about. And, let me know what you thought about the game. Throw it out there in the comments. Anything, everything New Jersey Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. Like I mentioned before, be on the lookout. Or head to the channel now. Tons of videos from opening night. Some cool behind-the-scenes stuff. Some stuff you may not have seen on TV. Just tons of videos. I'm just sprinkling them all over the channel. And there's going to be a bunch coming out probably later in the day. Tons of stuff. This is a grind out here with, doing all this editing and all this baloney. I never wanted to do this, and I somehow am here now doing all of this. But it's been fun. But it's a lot of work, guys, and it's taxing on an old man like myself. I'll just look at the game stats real quick. 22 shots on goal for the Leafs, 24 for the Devils. Face-offs very close, 48.1% for the Leafs, 51.9% for the Devils. Penalty kill coming up for the Devils still. The PK still performs. I guess that could be one little glimmer of light. Actually, there's one more as well. Leafs 0 for 2 on the power play. Devils 1 for 5. Again, 1 for 5 is, it's acceptable. But 2 for 5 would have been, depending on, the Devils had a couple power play chances when the game, they were down by 2, I believe. So if they could have scored one of those, it would have made it a lot closer. But 1 for 5, I would have loved to see 2 for 5. Again, when will the power play really hit its stride where we, break off a streak of where we go for three goals on 7 chances or something like that? Like some real nice little run like that. Leafs with 11 hits, Devils with 31. Despite the loss, still bringing that heavier, edgier, more violent 31 hits. Beautiful. Leafs with 27 block shots. We got killed in this department. Devils with 11. Got to get the blocks back up, but still, hits 31, blocks 11, 31 plus 11, 42. My magic number is 40. That's, usually a pretty good recipe towards a win, but it wasn't in the cards tonight. Leafs with 18 giveaways, Devils with 21 giveaways. The giveaways got to get cleaned up a little bit. Leafs with 4 takeaways, Devils with 2 takeaways. But Devils lose 4-2. Heartbreaker on opening night. Couldn't get it done. I still had a great time. And, anything, everything Devils hockey, throw it out there in the comments. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. I'll be back soon. Check out all the other videos on the channel. Please and thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's Go.